Mads Mikkelsen is known for his captivating presence on screen, often portraying complex and morally ambiguous characters. He gained international recognition for his role as the villain in the James Bond film Casino Royale. Fans of cult television, however, will remember him as the perennially Emmy-snubbed Dr. Hannibal Lecter from Brian Fuller's Hannibal, a role that immediately made him a favorite with fanables everywhere. Some notable movies featuring him include Valhalla Rising, The Hunt, A Royal Affair, Doctor Strange, and Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. Here are 10 things you probably didn't know about Mads Mikkelsen. He started out as a ballet and gymnast. Before he pursued a career in acting, Mikkelsen initially trained as a professional ballet dancer and gymnast. He attended the Ballet Academy in Gothenburg, Sweden, where he studied ballet before joining the Royal Danish Ballet in Copenhagen. He said that the shift came after he was hired to do gymnastics in the background of a show. A choreographer asked if he wanted to learn more about the craft of acting, and the rest is history. He speaks against method acting. Mads Mikkelsen is widely adored as an international star, largely due to his remarkable talent for portraying memorable villains throughout his career. From a poker-playing arms dealer in Casino Royale, to the flesh-eating psychiatrist of Hannibal, to a pair of magic-wielding zealots in both Doctor Strange and Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore, there are seemingly no limits to the amount of menace that he can portray on screen. However, his skills extend beyond villainous characters. He went as far as learning French for his role in Age of Uprising and mastering sword fighting and horse riding for his English language debut in King Arthur. While many admire his dedication to his craft, Mikkelsen has been vocal about his disdain for method acting, dismissing the whole thing as bulls and pretentious. He told GQ UK, "What if it's a shit film? What do you think you achieved? Am I impressed that you didn't drop character? You should have dropped it from the beginning. How do you prepare for a serial killer? You gonna spend 2 years checking it out?" He wasn't sure about playing Hannibal. His performance as Dr. Lecter in NBC's Hannibal is memorizing to watch, but he took some convincing from the creator to accept the role. Originally, creator Brian Fuller was supposed to pitch the first half of the show to Mikkelsen in 10 minutes. Instead, he went on to describe the plot for 2 hours, which proves he always knew the direction and heart of the show. Fuller sold him on the relationship between Lecter and Graham. Mikkelsen told EW, "It's all about Will. Everything circles around his character, and he's a troubled man. I believe I can help him, either to get out of that trouble or to embrace that trouble." He did a lot of ad-libbing in Rogue One, A Star Wars Story. When considering massive franchises like Star Wars, it's not typically associated with actors having the freedom to improvise their dialogue on set. However, Mads Mikkelsen's experience in Rogue One, A Star Wars Story was quite different, as he was asked to do quite a bit of ad-libbing. In an interview with Screen Crush, he discussed his interactions with his young co-stars, Dolly and Bo Gadsden, who portrayed his character's daughter, Jin. He acknowledged the challenge of getting young children to act naturally and say their lines without stiffening up. As a result, he was granted a significant amount of creative liberty to improvise during their scenes together. He said, "It's basically my job to make them feel at ease and play it out so they forget what they're doing. Then all of a sudden, you get some beautiful moments with them." He had an embarrassing audition for Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four was a commercial success in 2005, raking in over $333 million worldwide against a $100 million budget, despite largely negative reviews from critics and general audiences. During the casting process, Mikkelsen auditioned for the role of Reed Richards, also known as Mr. Fantastic, which ultimately went to Jon Gruffudd. Mikkelsen opened up about this experience in an interview with Vulture, describing it as humiliating. He said, "I know a lot of casting is just first impressions, but I find it rude to ask people to come into a room and say one line while pretending you have 80 feet arms like the Rubber Man." He then noted that he was asked to pretend to grab a cup of coffee from the other side of the room as if he had Mr. Fantastic's elastic arms. "It's like, are you crazy? There's not even a scene here. It was kind of humiliating." Although he missed out on the opportunity to portray Reed Richards in Fantastic Four, he eventually found himself involved in another project based on Marvel Comics characters, Doctor Strange. He is a knight on and off the screen. In addition to portraying knights in films such as King Arthur, The Three Musketeers, and Age of Uprising, Mikkelsen has also been knighted in real life. In 2010, in his home country of Denmark, he was appointed Ritter of the Order of the Dannebrog for his exceptional work in cinema and television. Furthermore, in 2016, he was awarded the honor of Chevalier of the prestigious Order of Arts and Letters at the Embassy of France. It recognizes contributions made at the highest level of artistic integrity with the presentation of a Green Cross medal. He was once in a motorcycle accident that could have ended badly. He is a motorcycle enthusiast and owns one of the world's rarest, a 1937 Danish Nimbus. In an interview with Scan magazine, he revealed that he was once in a motorcycle accident that could have ended badly. He said, "I stopped at a red light, and the next thing I knew there was a car driving right in front of me. I crashed into it and went flying. Somehow I managed to flip in the air and land on my feet. I'm not sure how I did it, but it might be the fact that I have a gymnastic background." He is a huge fan of graphic novels. Mikkelsen used to be addicted to collecting comic books and graphic novels. He told Polygon, "It is an enduring love. I kind of stopped collecting at one point. I collected, and it had to be first editions of everything. And it just took over, and there was just no way I could catch up with all the stuff I loved. So I stuck with what I had, and it's been some years of not diving into that universe, but I still take them out and look at them because I think there is a world in there that is absolutely fantastic. It's an escape for a lot of people. It was for me as a kid as well." Growing up surrounded by super-powered characters, he was more than happy when Marvel called to work with him in Doctor Strange. "I spent half of my life reading comic books and the other half pretending I was Bruce Lee. When I got the phone call of doing a Marvel film and doing flying kung fu, it was like finally." He isn't into video games, but he is one. Although he isn't particularly interested in video games, he had a unique experience being a part of one. In the acclaimed game Death Stranding created by Hideo Kojima, Mikkelsen portrays a mysterious character alongside Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead. What sets Death Stranding apart is the groundbreaking level of realism achieved in digitally recreating the actors' appearances. This involved Mikkelsen, Reedus, and other cast members wearing motion capture sensors attached to their bodies during performances. In an interview with GQ, Mikkelsen admitted he's not a big gamer, but his son is. He said, "It was like the coolest thing he'd ever heard. Never mind all the films that I've done that I thought he'd find cool. This was the coolest thing." After discussing the project with Kojima via Skype, I decided, on the Skype call, let's do it. I'm not sure what it is, but it sounds as if it's going to be fun. And then we started working, and I found myself in a green room in a helmet. He is a polyglot. Mikkelsen is known to be a polyglot, which means he is proficient in multiple languages. Besides his native Danish, Mikkelsen is fluent in English, German, and Swedish, though he claims that his Swedish has been very rusty since his college years. Dissatisfied with just these 4 languages, he also speaks a bit of Russian, French, and Italian, and once worked in the Spanish-Danish comedy Torremolinos 73.